returned, Internet.
Hi, world. We're
Howdy.
sorry.
Who wants to recap last session?
Katie, why don't
Before
you
we
take
move
it away?
Who? What? Huh?
I was asking who wants to recap last session.
I can start, but I can't finish.
I can do the last half.
Phrasing?
First half.
I'm thinking like Dustin and Skippy team up on this.
Sure.
All right. My Roll20 just crashed. So last time on Four Souls, we went to a town. When we got to the town, we met a man named Trapper. Now, Trapper and Skippy was Trapper?
Trappy.
Trappy and Skippy hit it off very well because, names sound alike. That's how that works. And Trappy was like, "Don't you say nothing bad about my daughters." And then the daughters said, "Please, good, kind orc, can you please get us out from our father's thing?" Except there was only one, so. And then Skippy ended up meeting a fine young lass who was just as nerdy as Skippy, but was very interested in the fact that Skippy was a bird, and Skippy was interested in the fact that she was a wizard. However, Skippy will remain loyal to his beautiful bride-to-be, Mara.
Still ship it.
Ship it for the skip it. At which point, Skippy ended up losing all his social slots after some shopping happened, which is where Dustin shall take the play.
Some people did some shopping. Xanroar went to the it's not the armory, the
Blacksmith.
the blacksmith. Dustin went to the wares and got some different things. Ara, what were you doing again? You were doing some I forget exactly what Ara was doing.
She
But
was
eventually
reading
met
some of
back.
the old books.
Right. Eventually, we met back at the pond that was here. Some conversations got a bit heated. Left Dustin walking away a bit, and Xanroar following pursuit. Having some really nice conversation. They eventually met back at the pond, and that's where we left off.
Wait, what was the conversations that created heat?
Skippy saying, "Oh no, it was Dustin saying, okay. Shoot. Oh, do all wizards know each other?" And then Skippy saying, "Do all farmers who ran away from their homes know each other?" Dustin walked away. Xanroar followed. There was a bit of Dustin lore and really nice conversation between Dustin and Xanroar. And they eventually met back over at the pond.
Yeah, that was probably at a period of time where Skippy was losing his social points.
Oh yeah,
Skippy wasn't there.
Came over to Xanroar, and Xanroar handed him off to Ara to go chase after Dustin.
And then we said he probably flew away.
Yeah, Skippy was being held by Ara like a togepi.
So, what are you guys up to now? Up by this pond up here?
Yeah.
We were. Xanroar had pulled out his collapsible table and chair and was working on the Iron Man enchantment.
Dustin's just sort of sitting around. He's gonna try to pull out his book that he took with him from home and continue to try to read.
What's Ara?
Skippy. Oh, sorry.
I'm reading books, yo.
Wow,
Skippy.
we've become a very. Skippy is definitely not waiting for the people to come back and invite him to see all the wizards.
Is he like at the front gate?
Yeah.
So, you guys are spending your time, and Dustin, you are in a both you Dustin and Xanroar are in clear shot of where you had left Shelby and your cart, and At some point while you're having, conversations and working on whatnot, you see what looks like a small child climb up onto the back of Shelby and start rummaging through the saddlebags and peering down into the cart of supplies that you just bought.
Do you want to take this,
Dustin,
or do you want me to take this?
it's your horse. All my
Yeah,
stuff is right with me, and I pat my
yeah, you're right.
satchel.
So Dustin's gonna start walking over, not with any weapons or anything, just curiously, and is gonna wait to see what they look like before actually like going for anything, and then decide what to do from there. Hello?
Oh, hey, do you need anything? Because I'm just checking things out. I kind of need like some food, and I saw this horse, and it's what I need. It's what I need is what I need. Seeing anything?
Dustin just sort of like looks befuddled a little bit.
That's a first.
Dustin, befuddled? Never.
Befuddled? Never.
Or... All right, let me take a step back.
Do you need anything?
Well,
I'm looking.
yes. I. Who are you, and what are you doing in front of my cart? I don't mind that you're taking food. I need to know why.
Oh, this is your cart. My bad. Hi, I'm Leaf, and I am actually, I'm pretty sure I saw you guys coming out from the woods over there. That's actually like my woods, whatever. But I've just been dying to get out, and I saw you guys were out, and I was like, you know what? There's my chance, there's my chance. And I sort of have totally not maybe have been following you.
You know, from all the things we've seen, I'm not weirded out by this. Do you need some food? We can go get you some food instead of taking some from the cart.
I mean, I'm totally cool with taking it from the cart, but I won't say no.
All right. Well, just put what you have down in the cart, and I'll get you more than we have in the cart. Does that work?
Yeah, that'll probably work. Yeah.
Cool. Just for reference, who do I see in front of me?
What do you look like?
All right. So I am a halfling druid. As you know, my name is Leaf, and I am about 3 feet tall with really long red hair that's very much matted. You're not 100% sure if they're supposed to be kind of like dreads, or I don't know what a comb is. And I don't know, I look kind of raggy looking, and there may and or may not be twigs and leaves like about my person with like really bright green eyes.
That's really cool. All right. So Dustin will wait for Leaf to hop off, making sure all the supplies are still somewhat readily available. And we'll walk back to Xanroar, hopefully Leaf falling, and be like, so, Xanroar, met some person who was on the cart. I'm going to go buy them food because they look hungry and they needed food.
All right. So we're just kind of head back down into his work.
So, Dustin just like, first before anything, just fumbles in his pocket, finds that he doesn't have one, runs back to the cart, and then picks one out. Comes back and goes, would you like a cabbage?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Sarah looks over at Ara, smiling, like, well, that's bad. He's giving her a bit of a grin.
Does that count? I feel like that. Whatever. It'll flick you a silver.
Dustin is gonna go over. So, what kind of food are you looking for? Food to take with you, or food to just eat for now?
Both.
All right.
Because I do potentially have some nuts, but that's about it.
All right, and Dustin will walk over to the ware shop that he just came from, buying the bunch of peppermints, and is going to go inside and buy 5 things of rations.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he's out, just come back with a bunch of food and be like, "All right, so this is to take with you on the road." And he's just gonna like dump all the dried meats and whatever comes with the MRE pack, basically.
You just see Leaf's eyes just sparkle.
All right, then
I
let's go
am
get.
too excited for this.
All right, let's go get you a hot meal. I know one place. I don't know if you're gonna like the guy, but hey, it's food. And she'll okay. Dustin will show Leaf to the wheelhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll walk over and hopefully not eye Trappy, who was Dustin was just trying to sneak and look at things through the window, and start ordering food.
Yeah, there's tables in there and various daughters bustling about. Sarah will be the one to kind of jump up and be the one to take your order and just kind of eye you. So she's like, "So, how are things going?"
Yeah, going fine. I think we're gonna head out tonight. We met a new friend. This is a Leaf, am I right?
Leaf. Nice to meet ya.
And
I ain't seen a kid like you around here before.
Hey, excuse me. I am no kid. I am at least like. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna play with my hands for a second. At least like 22. At least. Nice to meet ya.
Like looking her over, does she is she like scraggly skinny? Like could she be mistaken for a kid, or does she have
Oh,
shape?
absolutely, yes. She could totally be mistaken as a kid.
So she's gonna kind of get like an eyebrow raise and she's like, huh? And she doesn't have any like problem with it per se, but she just kind of like has an eyebrow like up and gives Dustin a look and
Dustin will just give a calm nod and just give her a smile.
oh. More the merrier then, right? And what you looking to get?
For me, I'm good with just some water, but whatever good hot meal there is for this one here that's been kind of on the road for a couple days by themselves. So whatever can fill them up.
That's a tall order.
I'm willing to pay.
So she looks at Leaf. What do you feel like?
What do you got?
Well, excuse me. She's like, we got your normal. We got a pot roast going. We're starting
Yes.
on. Okay, you want vegetables and potatoes and all that good things that come with.
Yes.
Anything to drink?
Yes. What kind of ale do you have?
Brewed in house.
Yes. Excellent.
She gives Dustin a look one more time, like, are you sure? But
Dustin just gives like a amused yes look.
then we'll bustle off and go fetch a large plate of way too much food for a small person to ingest by themselves.
So if you don't mind my asking, Leaf, why were you out following us in the woods?
Look, I have been in those woods basically my entire life. My uncle Ozai told me so much about what's out there, and I just have to see it. And I saw you guys, and I was like, that's it. Like I was looking for a sign, and guys were my son. So I was hoping to have, if I made a good impression, perhaps you would perhaps need one more person in this fine get together you guys have. And I could just see everything. I just want to see everything.
Dustin will give sort of like a remorseful thinking about the past, but do a little chuckle and says, all right. So here's something you need to know about this group. I'm so down for taking another person along, the more the merrier. We have a small bird. I'm sure you've seen them all. Small
You have a
bird.
bird?
Yeah, we have a bird, and he's a wizard, and he can cast a lot of spells. Very bubbly, very cool, very nice. He'll cuddle up to you in a quick sec. We have an elf who, she has a good heart. She has a rough exterior, but a very good heart. We have an orc who likes to create
Half-Orc.
things. I'm sorry, half-orc, who loves to
You just
create
hear that
things
in your head.
and make stuff, but a little bit of a cold exterior. But once you get to know him, he's pretty friendly. And I'm Dustin. It's very nice to meet you, Leaf.
Nice to meet you.
Know that whatever we're doing is going to be a bit dangerous, and if you can handle yourself, I trust you.
Excuse me, but my name's not just Leaf. It's Leaf Danger. Thank you very much.
Leaf Danger. I like it. All right.
Danger.
Were you born in the woods? Is that why you were there?
Yeah, that was my tribe's in there, so I've basically been there my entire life. We don't go very far. Don't venture out.
I guess you just wanted a way out.
Oh, I've been looking for a way out for a very long time.
I understand that. I've had similar experiences in the past, so I do not blame you there. Dustin is gonna rifle through some of his stuff. Oh yeah, we also have a cannibal horse. And a bilingual horse, if you're alright with that.
More the merrier, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Alright. What supplies do I see that Leaf might have? Do they look like they have enough things like a bedroll, a water skin, everything such as that?
Definitely. Yeah, I have Leaf has the base things that she needed, but food was not one of them.
I see.
She was a little too excited when packing her bag.
Dustin is just trying to go mama mode and just trying to make sure that Leaf looks okay in terms of supplies. Also looking around in the tavern area. Is Trappy still in the front main part
Yeah,
of the?
he's got like a desk that he sits at, but he's mostly his children take care of everything more than he does. He's just sort of there at this point, like he's like that kind of old.
Oh, I didn't describe Dustin. Dustin is about about a 6 foot, wearing light chain. Well, it's chainmail, but it looks like a light farmer's working, straw hat. He carries what now is a warhammer on his back. Very baggy clothing, like in the bottom area, and has a little bit of stubble chin. It's very similar to the photo that's presented. Leaf, but yeah, Dustin is going to scan and to make sure that Trappy doesn't seem suspicious. Just eyeing Trappy, see if he's being paranoid at all.
No, he's his generally like weirdly cheerful old man self. For reference for Leaf, like he's like the doddering old guy that he's got like a big pot belly but really scrawny arms and legs and the long beard that just sort of curls over on itself. And he's just like, hey, whenever like someone new comes in and he knows them, and he'll call over one of his daughters. He has a very many daughters, and they're not all of them are terribly old. The one that is serving you is at most maybe 15 or 16.
So Dustin eventually says, "So you're very up on the nature kind of sense of things, is that right?"
So I've been told, yes.
All right. So here's a very important question for you that I really need to know. Are you able to infuse different, let's say, vegetables with different properties?
My God.
It begins.
What do you mean?
If I were to hand you, like the cabbage that I just handed you, or maybe something smaller, could you make it poisonous? Or explode?
You know, I'm not gonna say no. But
Go on.
why would you want to do that?
We'll talk about it when we're not in a public space. We have ideas. We're trying to innovate. It's going great.
We're
Where's that
entrepreneurs.
food?
If it's going great, I feel like you wouldn't ask.
We're just starting up. And we're trying our best.
hmm
We're a
And
grassroots business.
Dustin will explain that. All right, so we're trying to take these small Brussels sprouts. We're trying to make them poisonous. So this way, in case anything happens when you kill someone off quickly, these Brussels sprouts will do it. Second thing is we're trying to make these cabbages explode. Not sure if that takes whatever kind of magic-y thing, but that's our main primary goal for these cabbages, or maybe some other stuff too. Maybe.
How are you gonna make them eat? Wait, so are you talking about making the Brussels sprouts? So you're talking about just making the Brussels sprouts poison?
Correct. And then we'll find a way. Might slingshot. We might put it into their meal. But for the cabbages, we're just gonna throw them and then just boom. Just
So by touching them, they would die, kind of thing. Like they would become poison.
possibly. And if not by touch, at least by ingesting.
Yeah, I feel like we could probably make that happen.
And
Oh no, there's another one.
you become my favorite person so far. All right.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Dustin starts to get giddy. Has the food at this point arrived?
Yeah, probably come by and.
I mean, I could just make some poison, but yeah, we could definitely maybe put it in a Brussels sprout.
Cool. And I'm just going to, as the food, whenever it does get delivered, give. You said her name was Sarah?
Yes.
All right, and just give her a look. And
What is this look
This-
supposed to translate into?
trying to translate into get ready for tonight, but Dustin doesn't know how to give a look, so he's just gonna try to wiggle his eyebrows and hope
So
that it comes across.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. But
I
Oh,
know this.
no.
Dustin
What-
doesn't know this.
because you're Dustin, you need to roll something.
Yeah. Should I roll charisma?
Yeah, just do a straight up charisma roll to see.
That's about right.
She gets this kind of unsettled look, but she'll nod and walk away.
Whenever we're finished, and we're heading out, if that's the case, Dustin will, whenever we're out of earshot from anybody, and when we're out, whenever that is, Dustin will say, "So, what? Are you ready for your first kind of adventuring mission, quote unquote thing?"
I've been waiting my life for someone to ask me. Yes.
All right.
And you're gonna see Leaf just shake a little bit, in excitement, yes, I am so ready.
All right. Don't get a spasm. We're trying to break that person out from that house. There's she's very similar to you, in which she wants to see what's out there and make her own destiny. But she's trapped in this house. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're trying to figure out how to break her out, and we're throwing some ideas around to put in a silent spell around old Trappy over there so he doesn't wake up. But we got to see what happens tonight.
You know, if you need her, if we need her to be at a certain spot, or like let her know to be ready for when we get there or something, I can probably just get an animal in there.
I like your idea. We just got to be careful about the other people that's in that space. But
Who's gonna be curious about a mouse going in there?
You know, you're not wrong. Just hope people don't kill the mouse. I like mouse. Mice are cool.
You think they would kill those barbarians?
A lot of people dislike mice. I punched a person for trying to kill a mouse before. It wasn't fun. And Dustin will walk back to the group whenever we're finished, and we'll just say, "All right. So I've got some good news. I have met a new person here, and she came with us, and she kind of followed us from the woods. And their name, her, him. Do you have a specific pronoun you'd like to go by?"
She, but thank you for asking.
All right. Her name is Leaf, and we might be able to finally poison those Brussels sprouts, which I'm very excited about.
You see Xanroar visibly exhale hard. Just.
Is the Brussels sprouts a sore subject?
You also do realize I have a poisonous kit, right?
That'll be too. Yeah.
Point of order. What race is Leaf?
She's a halfling.
Okay.
But easily mistaken for small child. But Ara would
Easily.
But Ara would definitely notice that her feet might be a little bit bigger, a little fuzzier than what would a small human child would have.
Yeah.
But since she notices all the things most of the time.
Yeah, I'm not wearing shoes, so it's pretty easy to see those big boy feet.
So.
Do keep that in mind for later.
Skippy is like hanging around for a while before you get a an actual not Gwaihir person owl, like a tiny little like wood owl come flying by and kind of like hovers over you a second, and he's carrying a letter, and he drops it and then flies away. And you see like a faint shimmer of him passing through the whatever shield is guarding the area.
Skippy is going to sit there and look at the letter for a second, because currently he is waiting for at least 2 different letters. And so he's smart, but he's kind of he struggles sometimes. So he's going to flap on over to the party, and be like, guys, it's here. Well, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's here.
Going on, Skippy. Calm down. Breathe.
Leaf's just gonna look over and be like, a bird!
So
Oh.
No.
A child.
So Leaf, this is not a beast folk. Though his token kind of looks more like what you're used to. Like in reality, the Gwaihir are more like harpies. Like they have a like humanish, humanoid like body, wings, no arms. So he's just has the wings and bird legs, bird tail, very fluffy, feathery hair. with a big wizard hat, but he is your size. He is wee.
Okay.
So so yes, Bird, you have never encountered someone like him before. At all.
What?
Excellent.
Did she say something and I missed it? Did she just?
No, I'm saving.
It
Okay.
sounded like a giggle.
Okay. Okay. Well, small child. Well, Skippy's child. Not Skippy's child. A Skippy-sized child. You're a Skippy tall. I got the letter. I'm not sure which one. And I was really nervous to open it because, like, I'm waiting for a letter from the deans, from the schools, and I'm waiting for a letter back from Mara because I sent her a letter. It was kind of romantic. I said hello. And I'm waiting for a letter from the wizard, and I'm really nervous, and I need somebody else to open it. And I'm just gonna like hold it into the center of the group and wait for somebody else to take it.
If no one else starts to go for it in like a 5-second time span, Dustin will reach for it.
Skippy is bouncing in excitement.
Dustin will just. Oh, is it like sealed shut? Doesn't matter.
It's like a single sheet of parchment that's folded up, in a very like particular, almost origami way to resemble like an envelope, and it is sealed shut with wax. So it looks like an envelope to you, but popping the wax and opening it up, it unfurls as like one piece of paper. It says, "Greetings, Skippy Bird and friends. I hear you are seeking an audience with the great Mr. Skaggerhill, mayor of this illustrious town. You have caught in the attention of a friend of mine. So I would like to invite you to visit my household." And it'll say, W.R. Skaggerhill.
Did Dustin read that, or was that like a howler?
I was gonna
you read
mention
it.
that.
You did
Okay.
read it. It's not
I thought-
Howler-esque.
Okay.
Wow, Dustin has been practicing his read. Or is Dustin?
Yeah.
Dustin will get through as much as he can and be like, all right, what's this word? And then like go back.
Dinner. That's that word.
Dinner, diner. All right, cool. And he'll continue on that, until he like hands a letter back to Skippy.
Skippy is going to take it and look at it. Similar to if you've ever seen a child read their favorite comic book. That is how he's like looking at this letter. And he's gonna sit there and he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna wear? I only have my one wizard costume." I'm gonna turn to Ara and be like, "Does my hat have enough stars on it?"
More than you
probably
need.
do with more.
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know who's gonna believe here.
She's just gonna look down at the child standing in front of her and just kind of like be bewildered for a moment.
I'm just gonna look back and be like, it could probably have some more stuff.
First lesson
I'm
being
gonna
with this
point at
group.
the hat.
Xanroar's looking between Ara and Leaf and just kind of just kind of quietly snickering and enjoying her bewilderment.
Lesson number 1. When he asks something, just indulge him. Unless it's dangerous, in which case, don't indulge.
Oh yeah, we have another bird friend, but she's currently trapped in a doll.
Oh yeah, she'll come out later.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Okay. So points of order for how to act when you're with Grand Wizards. First off, Dustin, absolutely bring up the cabbages. I cannot tell you how fascinated I always am in that. Never once been unfascinated. Leaf, as a child, you can come along.
I am no child.
What was that?
Excuse me, I am no child.
Oh, I've never met a human as small as a Skippy. That's not a child.
I am a halfling, thank you very much. I am at least, you're going to see Leaf play with her fingers for a couple seconds. 22 years old, thank you.
Oh, I don't know how old I am. But anyways,
Do you think if you're 3
Halfling.
Skippers... Oh, sorry.
Wait, am I missing something? Anyways, so yeah, other than that, let's
I'm
go.
pretty sure you're about to tell me how.
Oh, no, I was just saying, as a child, you should always tell child stories, but now you have halfling stories to tell, so those will be good. I'm sure. I would love
am
to hear
filled
them,
with them.
and I'm sure every wizard would love to hear them. So without further ado, who's up to see the wizards?
The wonderful wizard of this
Where
place.
are we? Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, this is
Flip.
Temperance. Whenever she comes back. Let's try something. He's just going to take the little Temperance thing and just kind of... Skippy, stop playing with fire, damn it.
Wait, what?
Drop the doll! Drop the doll!
Sarah just kind of puts it down on his desk.
Yeah, does anybody come out?
Please don't drop the doll.
No, he just placed it on the desk.
Did Temperance come out?
Temperance did not come out,
Oh,
but you feel the judgment.
All right.
Temperance? Hello?
Oh, and by the way, since we didn't actually introduce the rest of us, I am Xanroar. This is Zara.
This will be Temperance. Soon, maybe.
Soon.
I'm not playing with fire, though. I promise. Xanroar was just saying that as like a code word, being like,
Yeah.
Skippy's playing with fire. Just like that time when you were like, I don't want you around me, but I knew that you did. But like, you should know that I'm not, because you told me to, and it's written in my book.
Yes, he's really playing with knives.
You're gonna get me in trouble again.
I
We
think
can
he's
arrange
playing
for
with
the
the
wizards.
wizards.
It was a joke, Ara. Please don't teach Skippy how to play with knives.
All right. I just know some table games that you can play. They're quite fun.
You know, Skippy, have you learned how to juggle yet?
And he's gonna sit there and he's gonna be like, yeah, and do like little prison shanking in the air.
That actually wasn't too bad.
Just imagine that, except with knives. I don't know. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I watched from watching Temperance do that.
I'll cover the ears of a doll, thinking that that's going to do anything.
So, how do you actually cover the... Do you just
Just,
palm her head, or like...
Yeah, I just palm the head of the doll.
Maybe we all need to like do a Captain Planet kind of thing.
Xanroar's giving you a very strange look.
Don't worry, I'll go. Friendship. You do your thing.
What?
Do your thing.
What thing?
Like friendship, and then you chime in with yours.
What?
And then Dustin will be like plans, and then Xanroar will be like
That's
making
Leaf's
things.
thing.
What's my thing? Killing people?
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Murder.
Friendship.
I want to watch that Captain Planet.
Same. So this is a dinner party we're supposed to be going to?
Yes.
Do you have proper clothing, Leaf?
Yeah, when I got on, is that not fine?
I might get you some shoes or at least something to come in with, but I think everything else should be fine.
Skippy does
What
own
the
common
hell are
clothes.
shoes?
Dustin will point to the ripped, torn little things that he has on his hand, on his feet.
Oh, no, 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 no.
That's me fixing your shoes, Dustin.
Thank you. Oh, wow. All right, cool. Well,
And that's me cleaning your shoes.
they're so shiny. Oh my god. Okay, all
They're
right.
so shiny.
Only the best for the best of friends. And he does like a finger gun.
The Dustin will finger gun back, and
Xanroar shakes his head and goes back to work.
Shall we go to dinner?
we could.
Ooh, yeah, that
It's
sounds
like
great. What's for dinner?
noon.
I thought it was the afternoon. I was mistaken.
Well, you've been waiting around some time. It could be dinner time. There was no mention of dinner or a time frame in the letter that Skippy received.
Guys, I'm just saying, if we wait any longer, I might literally die.
All right, let's go. Let's fill your desires. We can do it.
Oh, you're serious? Oh, okay. And Skippy's just gonna fly off towards the entrance.
Well,
Dustin
looks
is
like-
going to quickly just while Skippy's going and just like whisper to Aura, I don't really trust many things, not anybody, but I don't know about other wizards and such. Just keep your eye out in case anybody is suspicious, will you?
Of course. I'm always having my eye on people.
Thank you. Shall we get going to a wizard's place, guys?
Skippy's already gone.
No, there he goes.
So does Skippy wait, or does he just fly on through?
No, so I'm like right here, like have you ever seen a dog waiting at a door for this owner to take him for a walk? That's essentially what I'm doing, waiting for
Hop, hop,
Dustin,
hop,
Ara, and
hop,
Xanroar.
hop.
There's a moment before everyone, like, while everyone's just sort of heading that way, where I just kind of like take a very deep sigh, like I don't want to do this for some reason, and then begin.
Xanroar folds up his table and chairs, shoves them in his bag, takes the Temperance doll, puts it back on his hip.
You want to come to dinner,
to come out.
Temperance?
Skippy's probably going to try and embarrass us. Or not try, but he's going to embarrass
will.
us somehow.
It's not the bird I'm worried about, but yes, we should be.
Oh, let's head over. I think he might actually explode.
But he doesn't have any cabbages on him.
But I do know Fireball.
Are you ready to
Coming,
leave?
Leaf?
I was born ready.
And he'll walk on. Big dumb grin.
So you approach the entrance, and as you are entering, you do feel a bit of resistance, but you're able to like push through the invisible shield that's there, and you get to the other side, and you didn't really hear it before, but now you hear coming from here, there are like you hear little horse whinnies and cow moos, but they're really high pitched.
Is this like a stable or an actual house?
It's more like a stable situation.
Skippy's just gonna go and like peek in to see what's going on in there.
So you peek
Yeah,
in.
I'm also gonna walk.
Okay, so the two of you go over and you peek in. The front is the entrance is over here.
Oh.
And you see a young man. He's maybe like 14, 15 years old. He's feeding cows and sheep and whatnot, but all the animals have been shrunk down to about the size of rabbits. So they're in cages, but they're like big enough cages. They're like small versions of like grazing fields, but they're stacked up on top of each other. So there's way more of these animals than could possibly have fit in a stable.
Skippy's just gonna be like, "Hello."
And the boy just kind of like jumps and dumps his bucket of feed. He's like, ah, oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you drop your stuff.
What are
let me-
you doing to those animals?
What?
I'm feeding them. And he gestures to the feed, and he bends down to pick up the bucket and kind of like with his hand like wipes it back into the bucket and picks it up, and he's like, "You must be visitors. This is Mr. Skaggerhill's farm."
Excuse me, did you say farm?
Farm, yes.
And Dustin will just start running to every single station and post.
So it's essentially these are more like, this is definitely animals. So he's got like pigs in one section and like sheeps and horses and cows, and but everything is in miniature.
It's like a little doll's house.
This doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't look right at all. And like just like moo.
You look like a baby cow, but you're a full-grown cow. Yes, you are. He's just gonna
Looks
just
way
be
smaller than a baby cow. Way smaller.
You look like you. I don't know what you look like, but you look like something.
Skippy's gonna go up to the horse and be like, "Wow, Shelby always scares me after I know that she was a cannibal, but you're not so bad."
Just not really paying a whole lot of attention, and just grazing on their patch of land that they have in there.
Leaf's gonna look kind of upset and like looks like that tear might fall out of her eye and just go, "Why are they so small?"
They're easier to take care of when they're small. They eat less. And then, like, if someone wants to buy them, we make them big again, and there.
Does it hurt them?
No.
Do they look like they're in pain?
Roll an animal handling?
Oh, I have animal handling.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I have it.
You can't tell? They're very small. It's hard
Well,
to see the
you're in
details
pain.
in their eyes.
This is all good and fun, but it's important to not keep hosts waiting.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I'm Skippy. Hello, it's a pleasure. Nice.
I'm
Sir.
Benin.
That's a cool name. I have never heard that name before.
I'm Mr. Skaggerhill's apprentice. And he kind of stands up a bit straighter.
Wait, you're a wizard too?
In training.
Can you show me a spell? Like, what can you do? I can do stuff too. You see my hat?
As soon as he said that, Xanroar is just sighing. We're gonna be here for a while.
He shrugs and he looks down at one of the cows and prestidigitates it purple.
Skippy is going to go to another cow and prestidigitate it green.
Just like a knowing smile. Wizards.
He cut out.
What was that? Mike?
Did he cut out for people, or was it just me?
No, he was fine.
Oh, okay, that must just been my connection. Sorry.
I'm just gonna be like, it was a pleasure to meet you, Benin. I am going to have lunch or dinner with Mr. Skaggerhill, but I would love to see you again if you're around.
I will probably be inside shortly. Just feeding the animals. You know.
Well, perfect. I'll see you then. And then Skippy will hop away.
Okay. So you head on, Skippy. You fly over the bridge
Bridge to Terabithia.
Do you have is there a, this bridge is wide enough for like 2 people-ish to be able to walk over. The first person who steps on it, I want to make a dexterity save.
Skippy, did you
Skippy flew
walk
over
it?
it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Skippy.
Skippy cannot walk.
Skippy in general will, unless I say otherwise, will fly inside, or no, hop inside and fly outside.
Okay.
I've been leading at the back of the pack.
I have a quick question. How deep is the brook? Is it like a river? Like, can I walk through it? Because Leaf will definitely walk through.
You could splash through it, but on you it's probably like waist high or more.
Heck.
Yeah, what the hell? I'll be the one walking over it.
So
Also, it's
make a
stream.
dexterity save. So you step on this this bridge, and you kind of feel your stomach bottom out, and everything warps around, and you're now like, you land on your ass, but you're like on the underside of the bridge. Like right where you are, like right where you stepped over, but you kind of like, everything warped around. So now you're underneath. And everybody else sees like a weird, like, it looks like he almost slides off the side and like hits underneath.
So I'm like
a
standing
force kind
upside...
of, well, you land on your ass, like as you get
I'm
underneath.
upside down on the bridge
you're
underneath.
upside down under the bridge. It
you
goes up
can
high
pack
enough
your,
so that like you're not going, like your head's not going to be like in the water, but
yeah, because Xanroar's like 6'9", so
yes,
maybe.
he's very tall. Like this bridge looks like obnoxiously built, but
Skippy is
it's like
going
ostentatious and stupid, like, but it exists.
Wizards.
So like you hear the clang of like him landing underneath, and Benin like pops his head out the stable, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I should have warned you. It's the over bridge. You're gonna walk on the underside going over, and then on the top side coming back this way." And he just kind of like, it's supposed to make sure there's no traffic, but we don't get visitors that often.
Skippy is going to just like land at the edge of this bridge and be like, fascinating, and then just like walk across it a few times and like take detailed notes on it all.
Hop, hop, hop. Yes. But you're able to hop back across to this side fine, but once you get like heading the other direction, you end up on the underside.
So
our fish is crossing.
So Skippy, while he's on the other side, he's going to try flying and see what happens as an experiment.
You fly as normal, just upside down. But you're like
God.
skimming the water with the top of your head.
Guys, this is literally the coolest. And I'm going to just take notes and then come back to where I am on the map.
Dustin will be, since Ara's leading the back of the pack. Leave, do you want to go, or would you rather me go? Are you taking the water route?
I'm taking the water route.
Alright, then I'll step across the river. Or
Splash.
step across
Out, take the water route.
Make a
Splash.
dexterity, Dustin.
Come on, Dustin. Please, Dustin. Why do you have such shitty dexterity saving throw?
Ooh, like you fall over and like you clench your stomach,
Oh my
like
gosh.
you feel like you're gonna throw up. Like that shift was very like rough on your stomach as you go over.
Logic is weird.
But you're able to get over. Like it doesn't hurt you. Like you're gonna end up, like you're not gonna land in the water. It's just if you can stand after that, because it's very harsh. It's not a gentle movement.
Dustin will just go into the fetal position for like 2 or 3 minutes until Ara is across. And just not having a good time.
Tower is fine. So you're over, and the house is like with many of buildings in the world in general. Like it's built into some sort of ruin, something that had like a foundation and a couple walls that had been there prior to this town probably even being built, and the house is built in and around that. It's kind of awkwardly built, like different people with different architectural ideas had attached different rooms in sections of the place, so nothing really matches, and it looks like very patchwork. But inviting. Like it's not looming. It's not it's well cared for. It's clean, and there are plants and gardens around outside.
Dustin is going to just like look at all the plants and vegetables and all the things, and is just gonna like gawk at all of them and just look at them, just make sure they're healthy.
Yep.
And pet his little bulb on his the necklace. Just these could be your friends, Bertha. This can be your friends. Bertha.
Where's Bartholomew?
It's something different every
A
time.
few hours.
Onward we go.
Onward you go. You head up to the door. Somebody knock.
Skippy does.
Knock, knock, knock. The door swings itself
Going to-
open. You don't see anybody. It's just open now.
Skippy is not going to enter, and he's just gonna be like, hi, I'm Skippy. It's a
Is there
pleasure.
Poe shoves him into the door,
And
through the doorway.
this house is this is like a big entryway. There are doors leading into various rooms, of which a map I don't have. But like out from one of the doors just floats a tray that has enough cups for everybody and a bottle. It's just floating in your direction.
So, is it 5 cups or 6 cups?
5.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Skippy is taking detailed notes on all of this. Can I inspect the tray with like Arcana and like figure out what's what with the what?
Roll an Arcana.
While he does that, Dustin is leaning over to the doll wherever I think it is on Xanroar, and is just gonna go, Temperance, if you want to come out, we're at a really fancy place, and Skippy might embarrass himself.
You are fairly certain that this is an unseen servant. And seeing other things like just kind of glancing around, like you start seeing other things that are seemingly moving on their own. There are a couple of them apparently.
Skippy's just gonna sit there and be like, wow, guys, I've never seen an unseen servant before. It's right.
And the tray kind of lowers, like offering.
Skippy is going to pick it up and be like, is this alcohol? Because Xanroar told me I'm not allowed to drink alcohol anymore after the first night when we got the mission.
That is correct. He is.
We'll
does
see here.
not handle
There,
it.
you do not get a response.
I'll grab one of the glasses and have a sniff of the liquid inside.
It's a wine.
Leaf is just gonna grab one of them and she's just gonna drink it, the whole cup.
It's a wine. A red wine.
Yeah, Skippy.
I'm gonna look over at Skippy. I'm just gonna be like, yes, that is very much alcohol.
Oh, I
You
can't
should
have
definitely
it.
take some.
Should I?
Look
Yeah,
over.
Yes.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
look
no,
at Xanroar.
No.
Xanroar, I think it's all right. I think for one night, as long as we're careful and we look after him, I think we'll be all right.
I look over to Ara pleadingly.
Just gonna take a cup and take a sip gingerly.
This is.
God,
I'm sorry.
please, Temperance, I need your help.
Yeah, Skippy's gonna look at Temperance and be like, Temperance, am I allowed to have alcohol?
Look to the temperance within you all.
Listen, give it here.
I
Okay.
heard a yes.
No, well, Ara said give it here, so
I'm
that
gonna
generally
empty
means...
his cup into mine, and I'm gonna fill it with water from my water skin and hand it back to him. That way you don't look rude, and you have something to still drink.
Dustin will take
I'm
his
gonna-
goblet. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
He's just gonna take the goblet but not drink anything. Not yet.
Skippy is going to take the water that Ara gave him, and he is going to make it taste like apple juice.
Leaf is just gonna like lean over to Skippy and just kind of whisper, "Don't worry, I'll get you some later."
Skippy is just going to sit there and be like, shh, Temperance can probably hear you.
What's Temperance?
You'll find out later. She's like me, but scary and cool. And people like her because she can do stuff cool.
I can't wait.
You know, we're standing right here.
Don't worry, I don't think they can.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Skippy. Let's continue.
Probably best.
You the servant that has the tray of wine it seems just floats away, and a door on the back wall opens up.
All right. Well, shall we go in?
Skippy will like flutter towards the door because he's now holding wine, so you can't hop any, or not wine, but apple water that tastes like apple juice. And he will head towards the door.
So in this room, this seems to be a large den. There's a fireplace on the back wall. There's books everywhere, shelves and shelves, and piles and papers. And there's a large desk with like an older man sitting there. He's got mutton chops and a big belly and very jovial looking. And Anariel is there too. And she's sitting on the side of the desk looking through a book, and she looks up when you come in. She's like, "It's Skippy!"
And they're like, it's Ariel! And I'm going to hand my goblet off to basically whoever's closest to me, and then flap over and introduce myself to the man at the desk.
Dustin will take it.
And Mr. Skaggerhill,
He looks so cool.
he looks up and he has this big smile, but like the smile just kind of turns more like surprise as like he sees Skippy, and he's just like, "Well, this was more than I expected. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Skippy."
It's a pleasure to meet you too, Sir Mr. Skaggerhill. I'm Skippy. I am a wizard, detective, cabbage grower. And I heard of you, and I heard of you when I came to the town, your Seam town, and I just wanted to say hello. It's always nice to meet other wizards, especially ones that are like, high up there in wizard ranks. I
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I
It's
have.
now.
I do know my way around a spell or two. And
I'm sorry, you're literally the coolest person I've ever met.
and you do notice, because you're Skippy, that he has on his wall, it's like there's paintings and stuff, but like one of the things on his wall is definitely like the I forget what they're called. But it's like the flag of Crestkills school where you went.
Skippy is going to sit there and be like, "Oh, I went there. I graduated with a wizarding degree in illusion."
Is that so? The old being key. And he leans back in his chair. He's like, somehow I'm not surprised they're the ones that got you.
Uh, well, so the people there, they said that they wanted me to grow to be who I wanted to be as a wizard, but the other people said that they wanted me to grow into what a wizard should be. And if there's anything that Temperance taught me, it's that I should always be my own bird.
And those are very wise words. So, I do have a couple questions if you don't mind. And he smiles and he has a very grandfatherly way around him. Like he speaks more clearly than the people do around here, like more educated. He's definitely uh has far more of an education than most people here. Um but he's old, he's slow, and um Inariel is sitting back and just she seems really happy to see Skippy again too. Um and he motions for everyone, and uh you see a couple chairs start moving, and like the like books and papers and stuff that are like piled on top of chairs are being lifted up, and they're moving over, like, so you guys all have a place to sit.
Are those also unseen servants that are moving those, or is this another?
You would imagine so, yes,
Okay.
because you know that there are no animated objects.
Yes, that is true.
So,
I was thinking more along the lines of telekinesis, though. I was
no.
like, ooh. Okay.
But yes, but like the when Leaf goes to sit down, like there is very quickly like a like blanket towel thing just like draped over the chair before she's able to get up onto it.
Hey, this is kind of cozy. Okay.
Xanroar is not sitting down. He's just still looking around the room for anything that might actually interest him.
You could roll a quick perception.
Guidance.
You do notice, like, in a corner that there is a sword, like, in a scabbard, just, like, leaned up in there, but it's, like, buried behind a ton of other stuff. But you do notice that there is a weapon.
He heads right over. He doesn't have many social graces.
And Skaggerhill's gonna wait till you're seated, and he watches Xanroar like rush over, but he doesn't seem to be bothered too much by it. And he's like, "We don't tend to get travelers of your ilk about all that often. I was just wondering what brought you here."
Oh, Do you know a wizard by the name of Rowan?
Bowen.
Bowen.
Bowen?
Uh, it's possible. I've lived a long time now. Not somebody I keep in contact with if I ever did meet him.
Oh, well, so he had a tower on the other side of the woods to the
A tower?
I'm just gonna be like to the north and west east of town. And well, long story short, he lost his tower. And he doesn't know where it is. And we went there and it's not there. So like I said, I'm a wizard detective, best friend to most everybody I meet. And so he hired the Cabbage Crime Stopper Detective Agency to go and find his tower.
A tower on the other side of the Brightwood?
Yes.
How long has it been there? Or had it been there? I don't remember there being a tower over there. And he's like, stroking his chin a bit. Curiouser and curiouser.
I don't know how long it's been there, but it hasn't been there for at least like
4 or 5 days.
yeah, that as far as we can confirm, 4 or 5 days. Before that, probably because he had to figure it out, and then he had to go to town and hire a detective agency, and then we spent some time rescuing a girl from a group of assassins. That was the whole thing. But I'm not here to talk. Well, unless you want me to talk about me. I'm not social.
You're doing a swell job of it, I have to say.
Oh, thank you. And Skippy's gonna kind of like fluff his feathers.
Do you know of a spell that can create towers?
Oh, yeah, I can do it. Do you want to see?
Not in here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But if it's a case of something like that, maybe someone dispelled it somehow.
Skippy's just gonna sit there and he's gonna like stop and like stare off into space, thinking, and he's like just gonna like stop and like come back and be like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and he's gonna like yell and or like turn back and look at Xanroar and be like, "Temperance!"
Zenra's in the middle of inspecting the sword after kind of wading his way through all the crap bothering it and just not really caring where it goes, just kind of tossing it on the floor just out of the way to get to the sword.
And Skippy's gonna turn back to Mr. Skaggerhill and be like, "I'm sorry. These are my friends. This is Dustin. He is a farmer, probably one of the best farmers you will ever meet. He can grow any kind of cabbage in most farmland and urban environments."
Dustin is still holding both of the goblets, so he's just gonna do the finger gun and just give him like a smile and a wink.
And this is my friend Ara. Ara is an elf, and she's an elf, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ara.
What are my friends again?
Ara is an elf, and she's here looking for somebody, but I'm not supposed to tell you other people's secrets. That's something that I was told by Temperance again. And she is here. She seems kind of mean, but she's actually a softie at heart, kind of, really. But she cares about some things.
Skippy, you're over-explaining again.
Oh, sorry. This is Leaf. That's Xanroar, and Temperance is the doll.
Hi.
I kind of hold up the doll. Yeah. I kind of wanted to ask you about that. Our friend here was kind of cursed. She pops out occasionally, but yeah, this is her.
Like, he's now thoroughly distracted by that, and he adjusts his glasses and reaches out for the Temperance figurine if you're willing to give it to him.
Yeah, Xanroar hands it over to her. She can also hear everything that is going on, so Temperance, I'm handing you over to a strange old man.
It's Mr. Scatterhill. He's not strange.
Oh,
He
I'm
is
sure
kind of-
I'm strange to most people.
And Xanroar goes back to trying to fish out
And,
the sword.
He's gonna take a couple minutes, and Nariel actually seems like he doesn't seem to be bothered by your mess making, but Inariel's just kind of like and like books, and she's desperately trying to like grab the books like out of your hands before you throw them, and like just sort of like try to set them aside in some organized way.
Ara is cringing as well when he throws shit and just like. Mm.
Can I roll perception to see if Ariel is actually concerned about this?
Inariel, and yes.
Anariel? Okay.
Yes. It would be insight.
Insight? Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's actually better than perception. Haha! Nailed it.
She seems
Well done.
as described. She's but like she doesn't like the books being mishandled, and cuz like it's mostly the books that she's jumping to save.
Okay, Skippy is gonna go over to Xanroar really quick and be like, Xanroar, can I ask you something really quick?
Xanroar, as he's trying, just reaching as far as he can to try and grab the sword. Yeah, what's
Remember
up, Skip?
how you told me not to just leave all your like hammers and swords and stuff everywhere?
Xanroar suddenly stops and turns to Skippy. Were you touching my tools again, Skippy?
No, but so like to somebody that makes weapons, a hammer is their tool, and they don't like that being thrown everywhere. But to a wizard, a book and scrolls and stuff are. And Ariel is a really nice person. So not for me necessarily, but like, will you please respect our Neil, the lady, and Mr. Skagger's Hill's tools, and not just throw them around? And maybe you could ask Mr. Skagger Hill to see his sword, because like Temperance said, if I want to see something, I should just ask, and she will think about it. Although she's never actually said yes.
Xanroar will kind of look over to Skyhill. Mind if I have a look at this? And he's
He
pointing
just
to the
kind of is like,
sword.
and he just like waves it off. And Inariel, like glancing over at her, you get the feeling that she's not like about to cry about it, but she's
Oh,
like she's that you look at her and you could tell that she's the type of person that is just too nice or not I guess socially stable enough to tell somebody no or to try to stop someone, let alone a nearly like 9 foot tall, however tall, like orc person that's like rampaging through the study. So she's just trying to like mitigate the damage. Like she's like really, she's got like really big eyes and like looking up at Xanroar like, oh my god. But
I just look over to Skippy. Do you mind if I use your mage hand or whatever that thing is called? So I don't have to go through all this.
I don't have any hands, but I could fly over there and pick it up with my feet.
Real quick, I'm just curious. You said something about dispelling possibly the tower, like it just disappearing type. Is that what dispel means?
generally yes, he says as he's looking over the figurine. Like if it was magical in nature, then it's possible it could have been dispelled. Like I said, I don't remember there being a tower there. I would know. I'd have gone to visit whoever it was.
we are currently on a trail of someone who might. Do we have the key, or do we have someone who knows who might have the key?
We're chasing the people who
Took
have
the
the
key.
key.
Yes, and there you have like a sketch of what the key supposedly looks like.
We're trying to find the key, and we have what it looks like, at least the look of it. Is there a way to like contain it in like an area, like possibly key, and like have it like open up somehow? I'm not good with magic.
Well, keys tend to open things, I would say. But you'd have to find something to be able to contain it.
Hmm.
And he sets the figurine down and leans back, and he kind of looks bothered by it. He's like, and just glances over to Anariel, and he's like, "Should get Liam to look at this. He might have a better idea." And she kind of gets this like, she kind of goes still a little like not like, oh god, like that's a bad idea, but just like,
It would be much appreciated, and Xanroar gingerly starts to, instead of like just kind of sifting through everything, gingerly starts to moving things.
Do you want me to just grab the sword, Xanroar?
Are you able to lift that much, Skippy?
How big is the sword?
This is like a longsword type situation.
Skippy will be like, I should be able to lift that if you take all of this.
He's like, oh, is that what you want? And like Skaggerhill just like made like flicks a finger in the mage hand situation, and the sword comes up, and it's covered in dust, and like, and just bits just kind of like fall off of it as he like brings it out of the thing, and stuff that it was like leaning against it just kind of like tumbles into a pile, and then I was like, ah! It like runs over to try to fix that as
Xanroar
well.
puts both of his hands up and sort of, that wasn't me.
And
But he looked over to take the sword and pull out a rag and start polishing it.
thing's ancient. It's not worth your time.
Skippy. So Skippy's gonna go over to Mr. Skaggerhill and be like, "Well, that's Xanroar. So he is a master forge smither,
Master blacksmith.
master
he-
greensmith. And he has a very particular interest in old weapons. We're actually helping him find an ancient forge. If you know anything about that, but I don't. Not. I'm asking a lot of you. I'm so sorry. Am I being rude? And I'm gonna like look at like Dustin and be like, "Am I being rude?"
You're at Skippy. Just breathe. It's all right.
Maybe one mystery at a time.
The fact remaining is we have a lot of missions and goals we're trying to get to, and some of them magical, some of them maybe not.
Like I said, I don't get many visitors of your sort to this town, and if I could be of any help, I'll do my best.
Well, first off,
ahead.
I think I'd like to know more about the Temperance situation, honestly.
And he nods and kind of glances over at Anariel and...
Or get her out of the. Like, do I have to shake her or
Huh?
hug her? Do I have to hug her?
What was the question?
The question was: is there a way to get her out of the doll? Do I have to shake her or hug her? Do I have to hug her?
Like, usually these things have a trigger.
Oh, let me try hugging her.
Last time she came out, we said Skippy was about to set something on fire.
Skippy was playing with fire.
And dropped her.
Have you tried that again?
Well, we said the Skippy part, but she warned us not to drop the figure again.
I have a possible idea. You allow me? A Temperance, and he's just gonna like walk over and lean over to the doll. Yeah, Skip is about to play with a knife. like blade side up towards him. So like if you're able to come out and you're like just gonna wait, see if anything happens.
Nothing happened.
Fuck.
Well, I guess that only leaves one option then.
Fire.
Skippy's just going to pick up the doll and be like, Skippy's playing with fire, and then I'm just gonna drop it. Guys, I really thought that would work. Nobody tell Temperance that I did that.
I think she heard you.
Skippy, she can hear everything.
Oh, Dustin! I can't do that. I'm sorry, Temperance. I thought it would get you out of your doll.
Maybe from a greater height?
Nariel's gonna just start heading towards the door. It's like, I'll go get Liam. I'll be right back. And she's gonna head out into the house.
So, Mr. Skaggerhill, we've been asking you a lot, but there's something that a couple questions I had for you, is because I'm trying to become a great wizard, but a lot of the people that go to the old Beekeep kind of found me annoying, so they don't talk to me anymore. So I was wondering if there was like a secret to becoming a great wizard like you are.
The secret is perseverance, dedication, everything you seem to already have. Why
And
do you
Skippy's
think?
going to be writing down his words like verbatim.
Why do you think you're not already a great wizard? You cast
Well,
magic, don't you?
yeah, but people keep telling me that I'm not allowed to play with fire and that I can't play with knives. And all the books that I read about great wizards, and Skippy's going to be pulling out like one of his books about a wizard. They all have a sword and cast fireball a lot.
Well,
And I have a dagger, and he's going to pull out his dagger and then say that he can also cast fireball.
well, and he gestures to that sword. You saw where that sword was. He shrugs. Why do you need to be like that wizard? Why don't you be a you wizard?
Because I just don't know if I'm helpful sometimes. But I had other questions too. And Skippy's just going to kind of like quickly change topics and sit there and be like, well, this one, it's kind of a theory. What do you know about other dimensions?
Not a great deal. It's not particularly what I focus on. But
So, oh, sorry.
what exactly are your what are your
Well,
thoughts? Elaborate,
so
small bird.
Skippy is going to start pulling out a ton of papers, and just like laying them on his desk and be like, well, so for starters, I think we were in another dimension a couple days ago. So we were in this old elven enclave, was trying to solve lycanthropy, but there was this giant spider dude. But that's not a part of the point. There was this mirror, and in the mirror, we could see these weapons. Weapons were in the mirror, but they weren't in the real world. And so we had to go into the mirror to get the weapons and bring them out of the mirror. And then we had the weapons physically in here. Dustin, can I borrow that dagger really quick?
Temperance has it. Is it in the doll?
Other ones. So
Xanroar has the log sword
Yes,
and the shield.
so we were in this.
For Leaf,
Oh yeah.
you he's talking about these things coming from what you would have known as the tomb.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, go ahead, please.
Dustin is gonna say like, I'm sorry, Mr. Skykill. Can you excuse me? I'd really like to see more of the outside where you have your greenery. I want to take a more in-depth look. Would that be acceptable?
Feel free.
Leaf, would you like to come?
Absolutely. Nature,
And
heck yeah.
Dustin is gonna put his goblet with the wine in Skippy's hands. Gonna give him a little wink and then walk out drinking the water.
Skippy's gonna look at it and then look at the doll on the table. I guess it's on.
Xanroar is still trying to get her out, trying to recreate exactly word for word what happened last time.
As Leaf is just following Dustin, she's gonna look over at Skippy and just like with 2 thumbs up, be like, "I told you."
I'm a little bit dynamic already. Oh.
So, anyways, he's gonna kind of blush and then go back to explaining what it was. And so he's sitting there. He's like, "Well, so what it looks like is that there was a pocket dimension put into the mirror, and we all know the old rope trick where you can, use a rope to create a pocket dimension. But I have this idea because me and my friends, I want to do something great for my friends, and so what I thought was that I could, so I would make the tower like what you were talking about, and make the tower, but I would shape it in the form of a tuning fork, and then use that tower to tune in to the frequency of another dimension, and then use that along with a great source of power, which Xanroar seems to kind of have because he's kind of really close with one of the gods, and it's like an anvil. I'm not. It's kind of confusing, but a lot of stuff is confusing. And so we would see if he could tap into that power, and I could tap into mine
You're thinking
for a demi.
too complicated for what you need. Have you ever encountered I know they're becoming more common nowadays, but not so much in my day. There are bags that can they're bigger on the inside, sort
Oh, a
of.
bag of holding. Yeah.
Xanroar reaches into his bag and pulls out his desk and chair.
That is essentially a small version of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They probably used similar means to create this little pocket mirror world that you're talking about. It's not an impossible task. It does take a lot of work to accomplish, but it's possible.
Do you know how to do that?
I don't personally. Liam might. Then again, I know for a fact that he knows somebody who does.
Then can I ask you one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
What's your story? Like that sounded weird the way I phrased that, but like I just want to know about like all the things that you've done because you're just, I mean, you have a cool house and an amazing wizard, and I just want to know like how you got to become Mr. Skaggerhill, the wizard of this town.
Old Meadow.
Old Meadow.
Yes. Uh, that's a long story. If you could, I'm sure you've noticed, but I'm old. So for me, a lot
I
of time
don't know
has
what you're
passed.
talking about.
And I went to school just like you did. Uh, I settled here not long after, actually. This is where my family's from. And sometime later, I met my friend Liam. Got dragged into a bit of adventures, it seems just like you're doing. But body can't keep up with you forever. So I came back here. Liam comes to visit every so often. I'm amazed that he has an apprentice. That's not usually his way. And you kind of hear like heavy like footfalls outside, and he's like, "You talking about me again?" from out in the hallway, and just sort of like banging into the room is another. He's an older gentleman, but he's not like nearly as old as Mr. Skaggerhill is. His hair's longer, and he's not wearing shoes. His shirt's like unbuttoned, and he's just leans in the doorway, and he's got a bottle of wine in his hand. And he's like, "What?" And Inariel's just kind of like in the background, like peeking around him.
I'm just gonna sit there and be like, "Hi, I'm Skippy."
And like, "Liam Spellhammer, I heard you needed me for something."
Well, first off, I just want to point out that you have a very cool name. I first off have never heard that name before, ever. But I haven't heard a lot of names. So that, anyways, so we have a friend who's trapped
So
in a
just
doll.
real quickly, anybody who is proficient in Arcana, I want you to make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Okay. You look at Liam, and you see the tattoos on his face, and you've heard about this before. Usually they don't generally have long hair, like the tattoos go down the back of their head, down the neck, down the back. They are you've probably like for a role like that, I'm gonna say that you've probably seen like drawings of people with these markings on their face, and they are a group of spellcasters that generally live on the sea. They have barges that they'll split up, and they can reconfigure themselves to create like larger shapes depending on what they're trying to do. And you know that these are not good people, that they tend to attack ships, that they worship some like elder god of the sea, um and they tend to hurt people and sacrifice people to this thing. So like you see, like as like you're talking and you see the tattoos, and like the fact that like he has like long hair kind of throws you off, but it starts to sink in the more you look at like these marks on the face. Like you've seen this before and you know what this is.
Skippy is going to sit there and he's like, "Wow," and he's basically gonna like be like saying out loud all the knowledge that he knows, like a human Pokédex kind of thing. uh, and be like, where I come from, we also kind of live on barges, but we don't have control of them because they're big islands that float in the sky, and sometimes they come together, and we can like trade in between our cities, but like then they float apart eventually. And it's kind of harder to fly between the two of them because you kind of have to keep track of where they are and stuff like that. And the only time I was ever actually off my island, I ended up falling through the stratosphere into this planet. But yeah, so samesies.
Kind of just like looks at Skippy, then looks up at Skagger Hill and is like, "Where'd you find this?" And he just shrugs. This one
Well,
happened to fall into my lap.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I didn't interrupt anything. But I heard that you might be able to help because I have a friend who is trapped in a doll right now.
Xanroar holds up the little Temperance doll.
Mm. And he steps in and he just kind of shoves the bottle of wine into the nearest open hand, which is probably Xanroar, because think everybody else left, or is Ara still there?
Oh yes, I'm just sat at one of the chairs, drinking, sipping
Yeah,
my
here,
drink.
have more wine. He just sort of like plops it in your lap, and he comes he comes over and takes the figurine and walks out.
Um,
Then we never saw Temperance again.
is
I'll keep an eye on her, and Xanroar will get up and follow along behind.
And Ariel's trotting after, and he's like, probably should have warned you about him a little bit. And
he seemed delightful. He reminds me of somebody. He actually reminds me of Temperance a little bit.
so Dustin and Leaf, what are you getting up to?
Dustin was just gonna like, if willing, just take Leaf and just like put Leaf on Dustin's shoulder and just like run over. Is Benin still in the
he's finishing up and putting everything away and getting ready to come back inside.
I'm just gonna whisper to Leaf, "You want a baby pig or like a really small pig? And see if we can make it grow."
Yes.
All right. Let's just went down. And then let's just look like we're looking at. Fine. And it's just going
Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be alright. And it's just gonna like inspect like the different vegetables and stuff until Benin like walks like past the bridge and inside.
There's there are vegetables. There's not like a great deal. It's more like flower beds and prettiness generally here. There's Leaf would probably understand more that some of this is like spell components that are being grown in this area. Like Benin seems to do a good job at taking care of these things.
I want it. I want it all.
I mean,
We should
I don't know if we
definitely
take it
take
all.
some home.
Take some home.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper, be like, can we at least take some of it home?
I mean, alright, here's what we do. We take enough that they don't notice it's gone. That's what I did with my parents. As long as you take enough that they don't notice it's gone, it's fine and we can make more.
Excellent. Love the thought process. Love the thinking.
This will just finger gun.
Finger guns.
And we'll just keep an eye on Benin until he walks by.
Roll it. Yeah, he wanders by and he just smiles and waves. He seems not what's the word I'm looking for? You do not seem conspicuous in any way to him as he passes by.
I have a quick question. Are there any like legumes of sorts in this garden?
Not particularly new.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, you ready?
All right, we going in?
Yeah, we're going in. And Dustin is going to like take his like shirt and put it up like it's a ninja mask.
Like Ara's mask?
Like Ara's mask. And just gonna do the dun 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 but really quietly. And like,
I'm gonna put my arm around my face like a vampire, like vampire cough thing, and then just kind of be like stealthy.
Yeah, Dustin is trying to stealth with big giant fucking body.
Roll a stealth.
Oh.
Oh no!
This is why you gotta take off your armor, dude.
Why you gotta take off your armor, dude? So do I just click on it? Is that how?
Yeah, just click on where it says.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
That's so cool.
Hopefully
Let's see.
I'm getting this pig, man.
Ooh,
You know,
not so good.
could have been worse.
But it also could have been
It's
better.
not the greatest.
A lot better.
So you make it to the stable. The doors are closed.
Dustin's gonna try to do the Paul Blart like slide, like fail, and just like try to push himself a little bit. All right. Is there any way for us to like reach over? Is Dustin big enough for that?
What are you trying to do?
So this stable,
Yes.
is it like open on the sides?
No, there's a door here. Like there are big windows. There's a door here that you guys entered before, but that door is now closed. Like big double door situation, but they are now closed.
Are they locked?
If you try them, yes.
I can't help but smell like there's magic afoot that. I feel like this is only gonna end in tears, but let's full send. Can I open one of these windows? Are the windows locked?
The windows are actually open.
Excellent. I'm 3 feet tall. Can I shimmy my way into this window?
You can, but like the moment you get halfway through, there's a very loud. It sounds like a goat screaming.
God damn it! I knew this was gonna happen. I called it. I literally just said it. But we gotta go. Or, the alarm's already going off. Let me just hurry up and grab this before somebody comes out.
Dustin like grab the pig.
I'm gonna grab the pig.
So make a dexterity check to attempt to grab this tiny, squealing, now running, freaking out pig.
Oh.
You miss.
Ah, shit.
And
Do I drop the pig?
you don't even grab it. Like it just like wiggles away.
Yeah, piggy.
We gotta go.
Yep. And he's gonna like take Leaf, shut the window, run back inside to the river, and he's gonna like.
Bendon is already running. You're in the same direction as you are as you're running towards it. He's like, "Were you trying to get inside? That's really loud. Please don't do that."
I have no idea what you're talking about. We were just hanging out, and then just like noises started happening. I am so sorry. I have no idea what's going on.
Here's what happened. We were around there. We weren't actually trying to get inside, and we accidentally, I guess, got a little close and it started going off. I apologize. I didn't for that to happen.
Roll a deception.
Let's see how
You
this
could
goes.
you could do it with help because she was
I swear to God, if this is double ones. Okay.
he
All right.
he's kind of like he's unsure, but he seems mollified by that for the moment, and he runs across the bridge.
I'm still gonna be like, thank you, fine sir. Thank you.
Dustin will tip his hat, milady-like, and just like start walking back inside. And he's just gonna like do like a little fist bump to Leaf.
And
So close, so close.
you have to walk on the underside of the. You get warped underneath again, and then warped back over once you reach the other side.
Dustin will dry heave for a little while.
It could be gentler, but it's not.
And well, all right. What should we do while we're? I don't necessarily like the wizard talks, so I don't necessarily want to go inside.
I don't want to be in there.
Yeah. All right. So,
Are there any other buildings around in the area, like near the garden area that we were just in, or that technically that we are now?
Nope. There's this over here, but Not on that side of the bridge, no. It's just the main house over here.
Heard.
So, Ara, you
I'm willing to just.
gonna skip over to somebody else real quick. So, Ara,
Yep.
are you doing anything in particular? Do you have any thoughts, things you're doing?
Oh, I have plenty of thoughts, but I'm just making sure Skippy doesn't make a royal fool of himself. More than he is wont to do. Otherwise, I'm just kind of making sure things don't get out of hand because I'm not trusting of things. But I'm just sipping my drink at the table quietly.
As far as you could tell, Skaggerhill is just like a grandfatherly old man, and he's like humoring a lot of Skippyisms.
I figured as much.
Like he doesn't seem bothered by him much at all. So there's little worry on him being offended by anything Skippy does.
DM real fast.
Mhm.
If that's okay. For point of order, what time is it at this moment in game?
Probably later afternoon, maybe like 3-ish. Because you had some downtime that you were doing stuff with.
Alright. Alright, sorry, continue.
So,
Well, if we can't find anything to do, I'm just gonna to leave. I mean, alright. So, how about we go back to that tavern that I took you to eat? I'll get you another roll. So we have you're able to have your own space, and then later whenever we're back, we discuss what other part role you could play in this breakout.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Get some ale.
We go.
Xanroar, you are following Liam?
Yes, I am. Just keeping an eye on Temperance, making sure she's okay or whatever. Just keeping an eye on what's going on there.
Liam kind of just ignores your existence for the most part.
Xanroar's more than fine with that.
And he takes Temperance into another room. This one's cleaner. It's another there are more books in here, but it's nowhere near as cluttered as the other room, but there's less furniture, and he just kind of plops onto the ground and puts the figurine on the ground. And for a while he just stares at it like meditating almost. And he does something like the standard array of things that you would expect him to do, like stuff that you did already, like the identify and
Detect magic and all that
magic,
good stuff.
counterspelling. But he starts doing spells you're not aware
Spells
of.
above my pay grade.
Yes, that's much above your pay grade, but just not what you do. They're more arcane than divine. And sometimes he'll just stop and he'll stare at it for a while. And he definitely starts getting he'll lean back at some point and be like, you could tell that he is unsettled by something. He doesn't give up, but he definitely seems like there's something wrong beyond what, more so than you guys thought. That's an issue. the thing, like when you tried to dispel or like remove the curse, it fought back. He's feeling that. Like you could almost like tell when, because like you experienced it yourself. But like
Okay.
it gets but there's a point where you could tell that he's fighting harder than you were. And
When he's doing such things, I'm casting like guidance on him to
like he's
enhance
fighting
his...
harder than you are, and it's fighting back just as hard. And eventually, like he starts like sweating, like you could tell he's like putting effort into this. Like he may seem like a weird drunk asshole, but like he knows what he's doing. And it doesn't appear to be working. And eventually he's just like,
Yeah,
that
during
shit's
such times, I'm
like
looking over at
he
his
will finally
assistant.
like look up at you and be like, that shit's fucked up. And just
Tell
coming
me
from
about it.
him, like from like what you heard of like the Skippy Pokédex of like where he supposedly had come from and the stuff that like he supposedly had dealt with, that's them's big words.
Uh,
Like,
well,
I should have been
any
able to fix
advice?
that. I don't know. I don't say that often. I should have been able to fix that. There's something very different, something very wrong here.
Did she... is there any way to get her out, like, maybe not dispel it completely, but get her out temporarily?
Usually with something like this, there's like a trigger, a word, an action. Like, I don't know, dump her in a river, see if that works. But like, it's
Is
hard.
it
It doesn't tell you usually. She should know.
Beetlejuice.
She should know how to do it. Did she say anything at all?
She said, don't break her.
That could kill
Like,
her.
last time she came out of it, we had dropped her and said our little owl friend was playing with fire. And she baffed out.
Neither of those things worked again.
Xanroar just lean down, grab the thing, toss it up in the air, and say, Skippy's playing with fire.
Fuck.
He'll look over at the guy. That's all I've got.
I wonder if it changes every time. Because whatever this spell, whatever this curse is, it feels almost sentient. Like it fights back, like it doesn't want to be dispelled. It is
Yeah, I got the same
actively
feeling when I was trying my own work on it.
it actively wants to exist. So you could be playing with the whim of whatever that consciousness is.
Well, shit.
I've never seen this before.
Do you know of any other wizards who might know more on this type of subject, like specialists?
Not personally. That would be me.
Fair enough.
And there anyone I know that could do something like this or have more knowledge about something like this is not somebody I would send you to.
Would maybe being able to find the person who cursed her help?
Couldn't hurt.
Well, if we ever manage to get her out again, we'll have to try and figure that out. Xanrar's going to reach into his bag, pull out his tankard of plenty, say the word and hand it over to him as an offer with gratitude.
He'll take it and raise it for a sec and kind of take the figurine and just flip it up in your direction.
He'll try and catch it.
I audibly laughed at that, but my mic was muted.
That which part?
Flipping Temperance to Xanroar.
Ah, yes. Well, thanks anyways for trying, at least.
Do you think that Temperance can feel everything? So like every like flip or drop, she's just like screaming inside of there.
We'll have to check that out. We'll check next time. Whenever we manage to find a way to get her the hell out of it.
She's just gonna vomit like everywhere.
I'm gonna try to Skippy Temperance out of that doll in a second. The doll and Skippy are back in the same room.
Before we head back, do you by chance know anything about like I had two questions for you and your buddy in the other room. Not sure who I should really ask, but do you know anything about enchanting by chance?
A bit.
Xanroar will reach out, pull out his table, and pull out a couple of his notes that he has on the current enchantment he's working on. He's been working on developing this. And he goes and explains the Iron Man armor enchantment. Like he's been working on this for a little while, so he has a number of notes.
Like when he first looks at it, he kind of like he kind of has that expression where like he's expecting like not much out of like he's almost expecting like a child's doodle version of like what you're attempting to do, but then he kind of raises his brow and he's like, I think I could help with this. But you got to do something for me though.
What do you need?
I need a letter delivered. Town up north from
Where
here.
to?
It's a town called Oak Marsh up north. There's a wizard companion of ours that doesn't like to come out very often. You just drop this off for him.
Just at Oakmarsh?
Yeah. He lives at the tavern up there.
Is
Can't miss
there
it.
only one in? Fair enough. Sure, I think we're heading that way anyways.
I'll get that to you before you leave. So
I'll give him a nod.
then he will help with this. A lot of it's kind of like some of it is kind of like beyond where you are, but like he fills in missing pieces for you, essentially. Like
some of the more arcane aspects.
Yeah, like he's like you're for someone who does like he pretty much like explains like for someone who doesn't do enchanting magic, like for someone that's not an enchanter by trade, like you did a really good job, but there's bits that you're missing because you don't have the that background. And it's actually like not a lot. Like you were really, really close. There's more you're gonna have to do to it, like to get the actual like enchantments to stick, like all the you're essentially having to enchant each and every single piece of this armor, like individually, and like teach it where to go and how to connect. Like it's like if you want to think of it in terms of programming, you have a lot of lines of code to do. But he kind of
Xanroar's, like,
points
nodding
you.
along.
He points you in the direction of where to go.
Hmm.
You just have to do it. Like, he's not going to hand it to you because this is your project.
Oh yeah, of course. Xanroar wouldn't want him to take over it completely.
And like the way he teaches, like, he's very blunt about things, but he is very knowledgeable, and you could see why Inariel is still with him, even though he's very, like, very,
Abrasive.
very abrasive. He could be extremely abrasive, but he teaches well, even if it's harsh.
Oh yeah, this really reminds Xanroar of his old master, the one who taught him smithing.
So
Afterwards, he'll nod and thank you as he rolls up the papers and starts putting them away. I'll be sure to send you a copy once I've completed them.
like, and he'll hand him back the now empty tankard, and just wave him off.
Oh, he starts to walk off, but turns back. I just wanted to ask one last thing. Won't require work on your part, don't worry. Have you heard of the Tools of Gond or the World Forge? And
Sure.
maybe do you by chance know any? Have heard any rumors or know any tales of their locations?
He kind of thinks a minute. And for funsies, I'm going to roll him a thing. He thinks he's like supposedly out on an island in the Dead Sea. I don't know, I never really looked into it. It's just something I heard when I was a kid. No one ever went there, though.
Fair enough. Well, any information is useful. Thank you very much. He'll give a bow and head off back to everyone else.
And Anariel's been there through this, but she kind of like just keeping to the side and away and quiet and just watching and like learning what she can learn. But like as Xanroar's leading, you hear him is like, you see that? He bows.
Speaking of Venarial, another backstory thing. Does she have a fragrance or a smell, like perfume on her by chance?
Roll a perception.
Nice.
She does. She does wear like a perfume, but it's nothing that you are looking for.
Recognize. All right, good. Then we'll leave and head back to everyone else.
So, Skips.
So are they like coming back into the room, Xanroar and them?
Liam is staying out that way.
But Xanroar and Temperance are?
Is Xanroar heading back into the room?
Yeah, Xanroar's heading back.
As they come in, Skippy's gonna be like, "Oh, excited to see Xanroar and Temperance and Anariel again." And say like, "Oh, and this is Temperance. She's the one I was telling you about. So back when I was up in the sky, me and Temperance were pretty close friends. However, she was always like, Skippy, stop following around. But I always knew that Temperance had like a really..."
And she's gonna pop out all 2.5 feet of her and vomit
Say
all
it.
over Xanroar's feet.
I called it.
Oh God.
From Temperance
Well,
to Skippy. How the hell did you do that?
No prison shanking. No playing with fire. Oh God! Stop dropping me. Why'd you go higher? Stop dropping me. Don't lie. Lying is bad. Who touched my ears? Don't do that. I can feel it. I didn't know I could, but please don't touch me. You and I are going to have to talk about brothels. That's not what you think is happening. He is telling me you can't give him alcohol in bird years. He's like 12. Please stop feeding him alcohol. And you, and points to Leaf, you're small and new.
Leaf's not
Wait
here.
a minute. Did you guys lock her in a closet?
Leaf's not here right now.
Safe?
Leaf and
Where is
Dustin are
Leaf?
not here.
Oh, okay.
They're
Good.
outside.
Where's the new person? I heard a new person. Did you steal somebody again?
No,
I
but we're
don't
going
think
to.
so. Oh,
Wait,
That
no.
was a joke. That was a joke.
More vomiting.
So one of
Okay.
the unseen servants will come in and start to clean the bird mess that happened. And Mr. Skaggerhill just looks oddly delighted by this whole situation. Well, were you able to learn anything from Liam? Did he fix you? Are you out for good now?
Liam is the sweaty one, yes? He was chanting. I heard him saying some very disturbing spells, but I don't believe it was him. I'm starting to think it has something to do with my little friend here, and she pats Skippy on the head. Although I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's something about this needy little guy that just calls to me.
Skippy, what did you figure it out how to get her back?
Skippy's gonna kind of be like looking at his wings in confusion, like thinking, "Did I do something?" And he's gonna be like, a magician never reveals his secrets." And then, like under his breath, he'll be like, "Especially when I have no idea what I did."
Temperance is going to make a mental note to try and figure it out before she gets... She doesn't even really know exactly what went back, but she knows that she went back when they were doing something. They had made some other terrible decision.
Eat
like
the mushroom.
last time. Yeah, that was it. As soon as you popped the mushroom in, took a juicy bite, Temperance went zoop. So she knows that much. But as far as what happens before she gets out, all she heard was Skippy going... like Skippy does.
Yes. Anybody, like I keep saying, anybody can feel free to interrupt. Especially Ara, because she was just watching that.
I feel like Ara's enjoying just watching Skippy putter on.
She's glad that she's not the one that has to be doing the talking.
Well, is there anything else we need to do here? Like out of character, is there anything else we need to do party?
Xanroar did want to talk to I'm blanking on his name. Staggerhill. Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Staggerhill. I was wondering if you know anything about some the Tools of Gond and the World Forge, by chance.
I've certainly heard of it.
Any more information, locations maybe?
Why, young man, are you on an adventure to find god objects?
I reach in and pull out my holy symbol. It was what was left for me to do.
Did your god ask you to find them?
Not per se, but someone very close to me did.
He taps his chin. I've never been the most religious of people, but I have to ask. Does Gond want them to be found?
You know, I've never actually communicated with him. But
I don't know the
I made a promise
story.
to someone.
I don't know the story terribly well, but stories change over time depending on who's writing them and how old they are. You could be looking for what you think is something lost that could have been lost on purpose. I think that's what you should try to find out before you put yourself in unnecessary dangers. Take it from an old man who's made a lot of mistakes in his day.
Xanroar will just kind of grit his teeth a little bit and I see. Thank you for your words. And I'll just kind of step back and kind of head out.
Grumpy young man, isn't he?
Oh, he's actually probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He's just very particular about his buildings of things. And if there's anything I know, it's that there's somebody looking out for him because he has a giant glowing anvil that kind of says so. That is kind of around a lot. I think we're kind of pretty casual about it, but like he has an in with like a literal god. But yeah, anyways. But yeah.
Just make sure to remind him that I wasn't telling him he shouldn't be looking for these things, but just to be careful about it.
Are you are you saying that I'm allowed to tell somebody else to be careful with something?
Of course. You should always voice your concerns.
Skippy is going to like look at his feathers again and be like, I have the power to do that.
Of course. Especially as
I'm
somebody who's learned, who seems to enjoy stories. But you should know, as I said, especially your favorite stories. The further back you look, they're probably different. Same with spells. Supposedly there were spells that could connect places together. There were spells that could make great mountains move on their own.
like
Hmm?
nah, nothing. Skippy is going to like be taking notes of all of this and be like and like kind of underline in a lot of lines history of spells and make sure to look at that next time he's in a library.
Mhm.
And he's gonna be like, well, we have a very important mission we have to do tonight, but here is my card, and he's gonna hand him a Cabbage Crime Stopper detective agency card and be like, I would love to write you sometime. Uh,
I love
and
getting mail. It's one of my
me too.
favorite things.
I know one time an Arakoa fell out of the sky and then handed me my friend. That was kind of exciting. And then he's gonna be like, well, thank you so much for having us at the house, Master Wizard, sir. And if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out because I think you've made a friend of all of us, even though some of us are kind of hard set to show it. And he's gonna look back at Ara and then look back at Mr. Skaggerhill.
She just places the glass down and stands and just nods.
And then Skippy's gonna go over to Anariel and be like, I want you to know that I still think that you're probably one of the coolest people that I've met. And I really think that it's cool that you care about the organization of your books because it really annoys me when people move my books around too. Because Xanroar used to move my books around too, but it's okay because Xanroar means well. He's just not a booker person.
Am I allowed to write to you too?
Skippy's gonna kind of blush a little bit, and he'd be like, "Yeah." And he's gonna hand her another card with that on it, except he's going to write Grandmaster Wizard in Training before his name, and be like, "That's me." And he's gonna, before he leaves, be like, I can't wait to read the book about you one day.
About me?
Look at that. Oh yeah, you're like the coolest wizard I've met. So I'm sure there's going to be tons of books written about you.
She looks like she doesn't know what to say to that.
That's Skippy's way of saying roll to seduce.
That is not Skippy's way of saying roll to seduce yet.
For people.
But yes, and Skippy's going to leave it at that. Thank Mr. Skaggerhill for all the wine, even though I didn't drink any. And then apologize again if I was awkward, and then he promptly take his exit.
I will follow him out, and as soon as we get out the door, I'll say, "Very well done. Your manners are impeccable."
I peck at a lot of things.
Yes, you do.
Now, I think we have a heist to plan.
Yes, for future reference, maybe don't tell people that run the city if you're going to do that.
What?
You said we have a mission tonight. To the man who is the mayor of this city.
We have tons of missions that we're on. He doesn't know which one, possibly.
I don't object to what you're saying now, but next time, think ahead. But come, we do have a mission to do.
He's gonna like salute and be like, "Aye."
So you head out. Where did Dustin and Leaf end up?
The
Tavern?
plan at least was to go back to the tavern wheelhouse, make sure that Trappy knows that there's gonna be an extra person in the room, and if he has to pay for it, he will.
Mm-hmm.
And just like afterwards, he's just like talking about Shelby and the cart, is trying to get talk about more about Leaf if Leaf wants to do anything at the time.
So you all meeting back at the...
Nothing particular time.
At
Oh.
the wheelhouse.
Temperance, you're back.
Yeah. I'm back. And
I did
who's the... Yes, you did. She's knows that she owes something to Skippy. She's just not quite sure what yet, and that makes her very uncomfortable.
So Temperance,
so-
this is Leaf.
Oh man.
Are you safe?
Me?
Yes, they have a last time I was here, they told me of tales of them locking people in closets and kidnapping people. I'm just checking to make sure you're here of your own free will. You're so small. I'm a little concerned that they've also kidnapped you.
No,
For reference, Leaf, there was an assassin trying to kill us.
Kate, you're breaking up. You're roboting really bad.
I followed them. So,
Damn,
yeah.
does your internet have COVID-19?
Hey,
Too soon.
Thanks. Oh, wait, is this better?
Maybe log
Yes.
out and come back in again? That fixes things sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. Sometimes
Well-
you leave and don't come back. What did you all do?
We locked her in the closet.
I knew it.
Hello.
Okay, is this better?
Much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
As long as you're here of your own free will, that's all that matters. Just checking. And she
I
kind of eyes people
Definitely
around.
am.
I would
Good.
like it to
Thanks.
be
I'm
known.
Leaf, by the way. Hi.
Hi, Temperance. I'd shake your hand, but I really need to go wash up. Feel disgusting and just vomit it all over.
She's the one in the little doll.
You're the
You're breaking up
doll
again.
I've heard about, but you're not a doll now?
In the doll, am the doll, one with the doll. It's really just a fluid situation right now. It's not one I really like, but right now, I'm real sized, all 2.5 feet of me. This is
It's
as much as it gets.
Wait.
Swallowable.
I just learned that Skippy's taller than Temperance.
You shouldn't be.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, you're over 2.5 feet tall, owl? That's terrifying.
I'm 3 foot.
How are we
Skippy.
not more scared of you?
Yeah,
Because
he's
he's a
lot
little
taller than
sweet
you.
potato.
Do I need to adjust my size or do you?
Maybe I need to go look at I thought I took it directly from. All right, Athy, go and look at your page.
So, I think the max height for Gwaihir. Am I saying that right?
Gwaihir.
Gwaihir.
Everybody cut out for me at that exact. Is 3 feet. Although I could be wrong. Because I will
So
gladly.
you're the tallest of the tall.
I will gladly size down Skippy, but
Skippy is an Adonis.
But Skippy is a measurement.
I
On
am.
average, 3 feet tall.
3 Skippy's tall.
How tall is Leaf? Leaf is a halfling?
She's 1 Skippy tall.
Yeah, I'm 3 feet. Exactly.
Oh my god, they're the same size.
I'm just so disturbed by a 3 foot tall owl now. With a witch's hat.
Well, new short friend, are you ready for your very first adventuring mission?
Leaf, once again, is going to start shaking out of pure excitement.
You don't even know
Yes,
what it
This is
is.
literally what I've been waiting forever.
So where
Honestly,
where is
Be
everybody
anything.
right now?
Going to the store.
Where are you all located?
Xanroar's outside.
The tavern.
He's
I think outside the tavern.
I thought we were like outside somewhere away.
Okay.
Oh,
Xanroar's over by the little pond lake.
Uh,
I'm guessing it's
yeah,
a
I'll
pond.
take them over to the pond if we're gonna start talking about the plan.
As
I can also-
she's shaking and it's like, this is what I'm waiting for, and I'm just gonna like kind of try to burst her up and say, great, tonight we're kidnapping a woman.
well,
You know
No.
what? Yeah,
think of it like
Kidnapping would imply
rescuing.
that she does not want to leave.
It's all a matter of perspective, big guy.
Little elf girl. Anywho,
So
they're correct.
you know, this
There's
is
a
more, I
girl-
feel like, of a do it and then ask questions later kind of thing.
So wait, everybody does want to be. I'm getting mixed signals. Everybody wants to be here and wants. Are we still looking for the tower? I know I can hear things, but did I miss something?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll explain, I guess.
Owl?
Basically, there's this
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
girl
I'll take the
in
D4.
there's the girl. There's a daughter of the man named Treppy in the tavern. She wishes to leave because she does not want to be married off to one of her father's friends. She knows about the gentlemen that we are chasing. They are nowhere in this town. She
The
knows...
gentleman with the key.
Yes. I cast a spell earlier today to try and locate it, and it's nowhere within 1,000 feet of this town.
Okay.
So she has information onto where they are, but we have to get her out of this town without her father catching on in the middle of the night.
Her father being
Trappy, the owner of the tavern.
okay, not one of the people who just helped us, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Completely
fine.
different people.
And we trust her? Believe her?
Yes. I'm normally good with reading people, and she seems trustworthy enough.
I trust her.
Is she coming with us? Like, are we dropping her off somewhere? Is there a plan with where we're taking her?
We're
We were-
dropping her off somewhere north.
We're gonna drop her off by the caravanserai. Like, that's the nearest caravanserai, and she'll take it from there. I've already got this together for her to actually start on her way, like clothing, food, a little bit of money.
So we have to wait
she's-
until the cover of night to go grab her? Is that correct?
Yeah,
The
I
plan
think that's
was-
what we're trying to find out how we're gonna do this. Xanroar, you talked about a spell.
Yes, I have this spell called Silence. I can cast it over her father's room, and he will not be able to hear anything.
Alright.
So she can sneak out without him hearing her at all. The plan is to get her out at some point tonight.
How do we? So, Leaf, you were telling me before we're together that you can notify her that coming, right?
Yeah, I got this spell where I can have an animal go like send her.
If we wanted to, we can just have somebody in the middle of the night have like a little rat go tell her, like, oh, it's time. She can come out and we can do our business and leave.
Oh heck, hold on. I have to have visited the room. Never mind, just kidding.
About the spell?
Yeah, so with the spell I have to like have already been in the room before to send that small animal.
I mean, I don't think that should be a problem. Like, ask her to like show you around. You can be in the room.
Yeah, as long as
Possibly.
we can get in there before, we can definitely like make our way in.
Well, does anybody else have any thoughts? How are we gonna do the things we're gonna do, and what happens if it goes wrong?
Well, if it goes wrong, this is our only
Skippy.
lead.
That's
Right?
true.
So we just take her and run.
For context, are we killing anybody?
No, let's put a
No.
hard no on that.
I'll make things into paste if we need to.
Wait, what? Is that the alternative to killing people?
Is there a difference?
We're not killing anyone.
Got it. Just a little confused there.
Okay, I've been a statue for a while, so there's a lot of in-betweens between living and people, but I don't remember paste along that scale.
Hey DM, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is Temperance breathing?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was just not prepared for that question.
How did you find that out? You know,
Yeah.
in game. Just curious.
Because you said like I don't know what's the difference between dead and paste, and I'm like, is Temperance breathing? Is she alive?
I just mean it's a little more fluid than Temperance previously thought possible. But
Dustin's
mean,
sitting
her-
there like, hold on a second.
Objection.
why are you standing so close to me?
No reason. No. All right.
You smell like
Overruled.
cabbages.
I
Please
always
stand
smell
back.
like cabbages.
I know, and this is why I'm usually over with Xanroar. I mean, you're a great person, and your dog, plant dog,
How is
isn't creepy at all.
Bento doing?
Still a bulb.
Damn it.
But now we have a druid.
No, we do it. Yeah, that's you aren't.
Back to our plan. Yes. I think our MO should be to let her get out with the silent spell. That way, the least amount of us have to go in, and there's the least amount of opportunity to get into.
Right.
I mean, my only concern is, having not talked to this person themselves, what happens if something does go wrong and we're trusting them entirely to give us the information as soon as we deliver her to the caravan. What if she chooses not to?
I suspect she'll be at our mercy.
Oh, wait.
In front of the whole caravan? I don't know. That might look bad.
Skippy is going to start flipping through his book and be like, "Wait, it's right here!" And he's going to point at the first rule given to him by Temperance.
That
Which
means
Silence.
So we
It's
kidnap her. Well, we rescue her, and then before we get her to the caravan, she gives us the information, and then we deliver her the rest of the way to the caravan.
Correct answer.
That sounds great. That sounds like a good idea.
I feel like if she tries to screw us over, we have much more information about her than she has on us. And
I also do have a spell that will make sure she tells us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but.
And if
the truth.
if she lies, we drag her back here and throw her to her father.
Oh, that was not what I was thinking at all. All right, yeah, that works too. I thought we just killed all of her sisters and her father, but yeah, no.
What
that
is
works.
Jesus.
When did you turn so murderous? Aren't you a farmer?
That is.
I
when
have
did
a
that happen?
history.
I know I'm a
No.
bad influence, but like, jeez.
The only thing
No.
he's farming is bodies today.
Oh no.
You know how I get my soil?
Alright,
Well,
you're
let's
not
hope
allowed
she
to
doesn't
listen
pass
anymore.
her charisma throw.
What was that, Xanroar?
Alright, you're not allowed to talk business with Dustin anymore.
Apparently not.
Well, I think the point is, I think we have a good plan. I'm thinking about possibly sleeping in the park tonight and waiting for you guys to take her out. I feel like with my big, heavy body, I'll be more of a hindrance, actual benefit to you guys.
Exactly, which is why I'm going to be taking off my armor for this particular endeavor.
Leaf, can you be sneaky?
I can be sneaky.
Yeah, she can.
All right. As
She's got spells.
As long as we have the sneaky people doing what they're able to do, I can make the call waiting for us to go.
Real quick, just to go over the plan again, we all are sleeping somewhere, and then in the middle of the night go to steal her from her room, casting the spell of silence over her father's chambers so he can't hear, and she comes with us. You're going to meet us on the outskirts of town in the cart, and then we go from there.
I don't know if we're going to be... I think she's going to meet us at the front or somewhere. She said that she knows how to get out.
I am also going to look like her.
We never settled on that part of the plan.
Wait a minute, why? Why is the 3-foot owl turning into a I assume human, this woman?
Because I'm a master wizard in training, and I
Yes, you are.
Heart.
think I like to look like gargoyles sometimes, but that's only because Gary's afraid of
Fucking Gary.
flipping Gary.
Okay, so Skippy not changing into a person, and then all the rest is still valid.
Oh,
Yes.
Just curious, do we know who she was betrothed to, or anything about this person? Maybe they would come looking for her, or anybody who happened to leave en masse the same
All
night
we
that she disappeared.
know-
Just curious.
All we know is that he's a friend of her father, and she does not want to marry him because he's an old man.
What we know is that all of the sisters and all the daughters of his gets married off to his friends. So there's another friend to get married off to.
Oh
For it?
no.
Wait a minute.
Mm.
All right.
Did any of us get a look at Mr. Mayer's hands?
No.
I'm thinking we should have.
He has hands.
Are you thinking he's the one that she's supposed to be married off to?
It's a possibility. Or
I
his friend.
I can go back and ask really quick.
I think that might cause a little more trouble than it's worth. People will start asking questions.
I
It's-
don't know.
It's not
He's-
like they have our address or anything. She's just looking at Skippy.
um uh uh well they don't have our tower address, which is wherever I put the tower down.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah, I can make towers now just because
Okay.
but they do have our detective agency.
They know we have a detective agency. They don't know where it is.
Well, you didn't give them one of the business cards, right? With the address on it? I mean,
He didn't give just one. He gave two.
Well, okay,
what name did it have on it?
oh, well, so one was Cabbage Crime Stoppers, which was given to the wizard, the old guy, but the other one.
The other one.
It was
Spellhammer.
Skippy's
Oh, no.
detective agency and magic emporium and cabbage growing facility, ran by the Grandmaster Wizard in Training, Skippy.
That's
So
a
that
lot
one
of
didn't
fucking-
actually say what we do at all on there. So that one's okay. That's fine. And we'll
It
just
said-
change the name of the business when we
said-
get back.
Well, I don't think we ever actually had.
We had like a million of them and kept changing the sign. If I remember correctly, like you guys
Yes.
changed it to something to do with cabbages.
So I'm sure both of those are outdated already.
Yes, it'll be fine. I mean, it's
But
not
they do have a
ideal.
street address.
I'm
Look,
sure
if-
somebody's watching our building, right?
If it becomes a problem, we'll deal with it then. I think right now we have a plan, we have it set. Whatever consequences come after, we'll deal with it like we do.
Yes, that will be one of those ample killing people opportunities that you constantly are looking for.
Just gives a thumbs up. And big dumb grin.
What happened to him? Temperance leans to Xanroar. He got real dark.
Don't know. I thought he was getting lighter. We had a talk earlier in the day.
Are you
But-
saying this out loud?
I'm trying to whisper to Xanroar. Is Xanroar a good whisperer though? I don't think he would. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'll lean over to oh wait.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
the best whisperer.
I'll lean over to Leaf and Skippy and go, what do you think they're talking about?
Probably how
I
boss
literally
all
have no
three of us
idea.
look.
Oh, absolutely
Wait, does Leaf wear a hat?
no.
Oh.
Sorry. Just a
Skippy-
lot of matted hair.
Skippy's going to minor illusion a hat onto her really quick and be like, probably how cool all of our hats look.
Oh my god, how the hell did you just do that?
I'm a master wizard in
Can I keep it?
for exactly 50 more seconds, yes.
You know
Wait, what-
what? Yeah, I'll take it.
What does the hat look like? I can maybe make
Oh.
like
So do you know those like baseball caps with like the swirly fan on top?
Dustin's gonna take note and think
Yeah.
about how we can make this with straw.
I'm sure we could do it. But first, we have to kidnap a girl.
Yeah, first we gotta kidnap somebody.
Says he kidnaps a girl.
Again.
Again.
All right.
We didn't really kidnap the last one.
No!
They
I
were
would say-
attacking
No,
us.
you just locked her in a closet.
I would
She
say
And
was
that one-
subjected her to
us.
Skippy for like many hours.
She was attacking us.
I would say that one is actually literally a kidnapping. This one is a rescue.
In the
I mean-
eyes of other people, it looks like a kidnapping.
One kidnapping is one too many kidnappings to add to the list of achievements this group has done.
Skippy is going to write that in his book rules.
Considering we found a drider, a spider person, really weird lady, did really weird things with. You know what I'm talking about, our fucking.
Yes.
I don't think that's too out of the question.
What isn't? I'm sorry. I think I missed something.
The kidnapping versus the shit that we've seen.
Oh no! I mean, I've done plenty of kidnappings in my time. I'm just saying, in some matter of perspective, we might be rescuing her, but to her father or the authorities, it looks like a kid.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe we
Oh.
can convince her to leave a letter.
Don't know if she'll be about that, but I'm open up. I'm open to thoughts.
I hate to agree with our new murderous cabbage manufacturer over here, but I think our plan is pretty solid the way it is. Let's just see how it unfolds, and I think you all have done a good job interrogating and figuring out questions. But it's time we leave. Yes, or
Indeed.
sleep.
Temperance, are you
Get
hungry?
ready for tonight. It's like mid-afternoon at this point.
Yeah, go eat, then stall, then sleep, then leave.
Yeah, let me get you some food.
So it is 11 o'clock. Do you want to stop here and pick up with your kidnapping next week?
I have to be at work at 4, so that would.
Sure,
Nerd.
that sounds all right with me.
Whatever works is fine with me.
Temperance,
Sorry,
will you be
Case.
here?
Temperance will be here.
Nelson, I know you said you might be switching your job day hours time? Was that a
So
thing?
though that is currently an I don't know, because the whole like little coronavirus thing that's going around.
Yeah, the little thing.
What? Never heard of it.
Messing up all kinds of hours at the currently. And so yeah, essentially it'll be I either stay on the current shift, move to working nights on Tuesdays, or move to working to where I work 1 week on, 1 week off. So I don't really know what's happening in my life at the moment.
That's sad. What do you do? I'm sorry if you've said.
I work with drugs in a pharmacy, and I make drugs. And
I'm extra sorry.
yes. Well,
That's
right now it's
gotta be-
actually
Terrible for you right now.
it's actually very slow right now because we're telling people not to come to the hospitals unless they absolutely need to. People are listening. So, like today, I was doing order runs, and like my morning, afternoon, and evening runs were all like 7 orders total. So, it was.
So you're
Anyways.
saying you could play as well as work at the same time?
Well, if I didn't have to be in at 4, then yes.
Well, no, just if you get switched to nights on Tuesdays, it's fine. It's fine.
Skippy, the pharmacist.
Oh yeah,
It's fine.
It's not important
sh-
work.
I'm sure they
Vital.
wouldn't mind. Yeah, no.
Totally important.
It's minor work. No one really cares about drugs during the apocalypse. They
No.
care about D&D.
Of
Well-
course, priorities are set.
I'd offer you this roomy statue, but apparently you're too big for it, which like is just messing with my mind now. I can't
Skippy
handle this.
has a limit of how social he can be per day or per session.
Also, if you don't... oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you don't mind me saying, welcome, Kate. Welcome, Leaf.
Yes,
Thank
Leaf.
you. Thank you.
It's time for you to make like a tree and leaf.
Druid, I hear.
Druid, it is. Yes.
It's an interesting mix-up of a group.
Yeah, we're just
Very
a band of
exciting.
misfits, and I love it.
We got 2 rogues, a fighter, a druid, a cleric.
To break it up more, we have 3 small people and 3 big people.
I think it's a perfect mix, really.
We have an A team and a B team.
So
Who's the
Who's
A
the
team?
A
It smells
team?
like
B team now?
cabbages.
A team is Skippy.
Just Skippy.
B team is everybody else.
Are we
I've
still...
talked to them.
Sorry.
What was that?
I was gonna say, are we still streaming or are we still live?
We are still streaming, but I should probably shut that off.
Oh, hi, world.
I'm gonna start uploading them to YouTube this
Goodbye,
week.
internet.
So, yay,
Mwah.
Adios.
boy.